Today we're breaking down a fascinating light heavyweight matchup between Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg. It's a clash of styles between Prochazka's chaotic high-risk offense against Ulberg's technical kickboxing and precision striking. In this video, we'll score both fighters across 16 skills to see who really holds the advantages in each phase of the fight. By the end of this video, you'll see where each man is dangerous, where he's vulnerable, and which fighter the numbers say has the edge. Jiri Prochazka is one of the most dangerous and unpredictable fighters in the UFC's light heavyweight division. His style is built around constant pressure, explosive power, and willingness to engage in chaotic exchanges where his creativity shines. Prochazka throws strikes from unusual angles, he mixes spinning attacks, and he keeps opponents guessing with this non-stop aggression. What makes him especially dangerous is his finishing instinct. When he senses an opening, he commits fully and often ends the fight suddenly. Combined with his durability and relentless forward pressure, Prochazka thrives in wild moments where many fighters struggle to stay composed. Prochazka is incredibly dangerous offensively, but his chaotic style also creates openings. His aggressive approach often leaves his defense exposed because he likes to fight with this hands-down, chin-forward style that allows opponents to land clean counters during exchanges. Prochazka also tends to rely heavily on instincts and improvisation, which can lead to risky decisions when he's facing a disciplined, technical striker. When opponents stay composed, they control the distance and force him into more structured exchanges. The gaps in his defensive positioning can become a real vulnerability. Carlos Ulberg is a polished, technical striker whose game is built around precision and control. With a strong kickboxing background, he manages distance well, he uses sharp combinations, and he delivers real power when opponents step into range. Ulberg is especially dangerous when he fights at his preferred tempo, staying composed, picking shots, and forcing opponents into clean counters. As his career has progressed, he's also shown improved patience and fight management, allowing his athleticism and striking accuracy to steadily take over fights. Ulberg is a dangerous striker, but his game can become vulnerable when opponents disrupt his rhythm. When pressured aggressively or pulled into chaotic exchanges, his defensive structure can start to break down. Ulberg has also relied heavily on his striking success, which means that opponents who mix in grappling or force uncomfortable transitions can slow his momentum. If the fight becomes messy instead of technical, the areas outside of his striking comfort zone could be exploited by experienced opponents. Now we're going to look at both fighters in the fighter index tail of the tape. Jiri Prochazka brings a deeper resume with a 32-5-1 overall record and a 6-2 run in the UFC, while Carlos Ulberg enters with a 14-1 overall record with an impressive 9-1 UFC record. Physically, both fighters stand 6'4", but Prochazka carries a slight reach advantage at 80 inches compared to Ulberg's 77. Stylistically, Prochazka fights from a switch stance, constantly changing angles, while Ulberg operates from a traditional orthodox stance. Prochazka enters on a 2-fight win streak, while Ulberg rides an impressive 9-fight win streak. In knockout victories, Prochazka leads the light heavyweight division with 28 compared to 9 for Ulberg. In submissions, Prochazka again holds the edge 3-1. Both fighters are dangerous early, with 23 first-round finishes for Prochazka and 8 for Ulberg. When the fights go the distance, Ulberg has 4 decision wins compared to just 1 for Prochazka. Now it's time to break these fighters down using the fighter index scale. We break down each phase of the fight and score each skill to better understand the strengths and the weaknesses of a fighter's game. All fighter index scores are based on a scale of 1 to 10. Scores are subjective and can change as a fighter evolves from fight to fight. Here's how it works. There are 4 pillars that represent a skill set, and 4 skills that make up a pillar. Each skill is scored and the number value represents a level, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Then, at the end of the video, we take those values and we give each fighter a fighter index score based on the scores of the skill within the pillars. Pillar 1, Fight IQ and Athletic Tools. Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg start evenly in several areas. In Fight IQ, both fighters score a 7, showing solid decision-making and awareness in their preferred styles. In athleticism, they're also even at 9 apiece, reflecting elite explosiveness and physical tools for the division. The separation begins in stamina, where Prochazka holds a slight edge, 8-7, showing the ability to maintain a relentless pace. And in resolve, the gap widens with Prochazka scoring a 9 compared to Ulberg's 7, highlighting its proven toughness and ability to keep pushing through adversity. Overall, this pillar favors Jiri Prochazka because of his durability and endurance in difficult fights. In Pillar 2, Striking and Stand-Up Defense, Jiri and Carlos both bring dangerous weapons on the feet. In striking, Prochazka holds a slight edge 9-8, reflecting his creativity, power, and finishing ability in chaotic exchanges. In the clinch, he also leads 7-6, whereas aggression and physical pressure can create damaging moments. In striking defense, however, Ulberg takes the advantage 7-6, showing a more disciplined defensive structure and cleaner positioning. In Chin, Prochazka again pulls ahead 9-7, highlighting his proven durability and ability to absorb damage while continuing to push forward. With advantages in offensive striking and durability, this pillar slightly favors Jiri Prochazka. Pillar 3, Grappling and Control. In wrestling, Prochazka leads 7-6, showing a slightly stronger ability to initiate grappling exchanges when needed. In takedown offense, the gap grows 7-5, reflecting his willingness to mix in takedowns to change the flow of the fight. In top control, Prochazka again edges 7-6, giving him a small advantage in maintaining dominant positions. And in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he leads 8-6, bringing a more dangerous submission threat on the ground. With advantages in every grappling category, this pillar clearly favors Jiri Prochazka. Pillar 4, Defense, Scrambles, and Ground Survival. In takedown defense, both fighters are even at 7, showing a solid ability to keep the fight standing when they choose. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu defense, Prochazka takes the lead with a score of 7-6, reflecting a stronger submission awareness on the ground. Off the back, the gap widens with Prochazka scoring a 7 compared to Ulberg's 5, giving him the more active and threatening bottom game. In scrambles, Prochazka holds a significant advantage, 9-6, showing his ability to explode through chaotic grappling transitions and create reversals or escapes. Overall, this pillar clearly favors Jiri Prochazka. Now, when you take everything from the 4 pillars and put it together, this is where the fight really starts to come into focus. It's not about who has the edge on paper, it's about how those advantages show up once the fight actually unfolds. Who's creating the bigger moments? Who's dictating the pace? Which fighter is more comfortable when things start to break down? Because in this matchup, the differences aren't huge in every area, but the way that those edges stack back together become very clear in real time. In Pillar 1, Prochazka gets the edge. Both fighters are explosive and capable, but Jiri's ability to push relentless pace and stay composed through adversity gives him the advantage as the fight wears on. Pillar 2. On the feet, both fighters are dangerous, but Prochazka's creativity, pressure, and ability to absorb damage give him the edge in the exchanges, even though Ulberg is the more defensively structured striker. Pillar 3. In grappling, Prochazka clearly takes over. He's more willing to mix in takedowns, more effective at controlling position, and presents a more dangerous submission threat if the fight hits the ground. Pillar 4. Defensively, Prochazka is more difficult to deal with. He's more active in scrambles, more dangerous off his back, and better at navigating chaotic transitions. So, this fight is about structure versus chaos. Ulberg brings cleaner technique and control, but Prochazka's pressure, durability, and ability to create moments across multiple phases give him the overall edge. Now we look at each fighter's path to victory based on what we learned from the 4 pillars. Jiri Prochazka wins this fight by turning it into the kind of chaotic battle where he thrives. Against Carlos Ulberg, this path is built on pressure, durability, and forcing exchanges that break the fight out of a clean kickboxing rhythm. If Prochazka pushes forward, mixes in clinch work and occasional takedown attempts, and keeps the fight unpredictable, he can take away Ulberg's technical striking advantage. His biggest edge may come from scrambles and transitions, where its explosiveness and grappling instincts allow him to create dangerous moments. If Prochazka drags the fight into chaos and forces Ulberg to react instead of dictate, the matchup starts to favor his aggression, durability, and finishing ability. Carlos Ulberg wins this fight by keeping it technical and refusing to get pulled into the chaos that favors Jiri. His clearest path is controlling distance with disciplined kickboxing, using footwork and clean counters to capitalize on Prochazka's aggressive entries. If Ulberg stays composed, manages range, forces Prochazka to walk into sharp, precise shots, his striking defense and accuracy can start to create openings. Just as important, he needs to avoid extended clinch battles and grappling exchanges where Prochazka's explosiveness can become dangerous. If Ulberg keeps the fight structured, controls the pace, is first in every striking exchange, and turns it into a technical striking match instead of a chaotic brawl, he has a really good chance of keeping this fight in his wheelhouse. When the scores from the 4 pillars are totaled, Jiri Prochazka finishes with a 7.7 fighter index score, compared to a 6.6 for Carlos Ulberg. That gap reflects Prochazka's broader advantages across the pillars, particularly in durability, grappling transitions, and his ability to thrive in chaotic exchanges. Ulberg's technical striking and athleticism keep him dangerous, but the index suggests that Prochazka holds the more complete skill set overall. On paper, the numbers lean Prochazka, though Ulberg's precision and counter-striking still give him a clear path if he can keep the fight technical. And that's the breakdown for Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg using the Fighter Index. The numbers point towards Prochazka's durability, pressure, and chaos as the bigger overall edge, but Ulberg's precision striking gives him a very real path if he can keep the fight technical. Now the question is, do you agree with these scores? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next Fighter Index analysis.